Welcome back. Consecutive failed rains across Kenya have left about 2.7 million people short of food, and some regions are expected to reach emergency levels by September, as millions of Kenyans are affected by what's said to be the worst drought since 2011. Growing drought-tolerant crops is helping farmers adapt to dry conditions as they continue producing food. Drought-affecting parts of Kenya forced many people to trek long distances in search of water. Joyce Mutangia is a farmer in Bwengi in the northeast. She relies on rain for farming and domestic use, but she no longer has a safe source of water and her farm is not regularly watered. Residents have had to dig deeper and deeper to find some water. Mutangia has also had to stop growing maize after the rains failed. The drought, which has left about 2.7 million people in need of food aid, has also driven up prices of basic food commodities such as milk and vegetables, hitting consumers hard. Mutangia now grows sorghum and green grams that grow better in dry conditions. In the past, we used to depend on maize in this area instead of sorghum. But now maize is not growing and we're looking to increase our sorghum production. It's doing better for both sale and for domestic consumption. Joyce is one of 24,000 farmers currently benefiting from a program funded by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, and other partners. Since 2015, the program has focused on responding to insufficient rain in 13 counties in Kenya by introducing soil and water conservation, more efficient farming practices, and promoting drought-tolerant crops. The program aims to reach 185,000 smallholder farmers in the next 7 years.
We start with the farmer right from land preparation and various practices around the same to ensure that the farmer conserves as much moisture as possible at farm level, and employing practices like conservation agriculture so that not much water is lost at the farm. We walk the farmer through a journey where the farmer gets the most appropriate seed, the best fertilizer for the farm, and also ensure the farmer has been given skills so that all the agronomic practices are done in such a way that they get the maximum yields possible.
Farmers in some areas have doubled their yields despite the dry conditions, providing food for their households and communities. By adopting these improved farming practices, farmers could help feed an estimated 10 million Kenyans already suffering from poor nutrition, a figure likely to increase with the ongoing drought. In North Africa, a new solar-powered water tank and the clearing of areas around camps are the latest efforts by UNMISS to improve security and ease tensions between local residents and internally displaced people. This comes amidst reports of heightened political crisis and ethnic violence.
When violence erupted in South Sudan, tens of thousands of people were forced to seek refuge in and around the United Nations compound in Juba. As a result, tensions over scarce resources like water and firewood have risen between those living in the protection of civilians, POC, and local residents. Both groups have also been victims of attack by criminals using guns and other weapons hidden in thick bushes around these sites. The UN mission in South Sudan, UNMISS, has launched 2 new UN projects to ease tensions in the area. One is a solar-powered water system to provide clean water for communities living around the POC site. The other is creating a 200 million weapons-free zone around the site to reduce the risk of violence. UN peacekeepers searched for weapons while local residents were hired to clear vegetation. UNMISS officials say the provision of water, especially during the dry season, will help reduce disputes between the displaced and local residents.
We've been trucking water into all these displaced people for months now, and the trucks literally drive through the local communities to get to these camps, and the local communities don't have good access to water. So by putting this project in place. We're giving back to the local community.
South Sudan's conflict began just 2 years after it declared independence from Sudan. Fighting escalated in December 2013 after President Salva Kiir, a Dinka, fired his vice president and long-term rival, Riek Machar, a Nuer. The explosion of ethnic violence that followed has uprooted nearly a quarter of the country's population of 12 million, creating the biggest refugee crisis since the genocide in Rwanda.
Finally on the program, using thread, pins and nails, Nigerian artist Olanrewaju Ogunlende has been able to portray people in a unique way. In just 1 year since he discovered the medium of string, he seems to have become quite successful. Here's his story.
Nigerian artist Omotoyosi Ogunlende is working on a portrait of reggae music legend Bob Marley by running a thread through a grid of patterned nails hammered onto a board.
Basically what I did, or how I started this was I took my board. On my board I have my picture of Bob Marley, the legend. I traced it on the board. After tracing on the board, I nailed. After nailing, then I colored the background in 3 colors. You have the green, the yellow, and the red, which signifies the Raga color, or the Jamaican color, or the Rastafarian color, however anybody chooses to address it. After nailing, color background, after coloring the background, then the stringing, which that's what actually brings out the actual picture of Bob Marley that we have here.
Ogunlende studied fine art and sculpture at Yaba College of Technology, but started using string as a medium when he attended an art conference in South Africa last year. He has worked on 20 pieces since then.
I ran into stringing. Not that it was actually there for display. I ran into stringing. I saw a young chap, just stringing on the wall, different colors, all aligned together, and I was like, wow.
String art is not new in Nigeria, but Ogunlende says he is the only one doing portraits. He says his most popular pieces include notable Nigerian authors Wole Soyinka and Chimamanda Adichie. Depending on the size, a portrait costs anything from $260 upwards and can take him between 2 or 3 weeks to complete.
Since I started, the acceptance has been remarkable for me, though, and based on the fact that I love what I do, I enjoy what I do. I've done some for free. I've done some for money, and so far so good. It has paid off. Really, I'm happy so far, and I know the future. There's future for string art.
Ogunlende also teaches string art, which is also known as thread art, to children during school holidays. He is also working on ways to incorporate string into metal works and sculptures.
That's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jaka Rogers.